Morning. This is Deepak. So I'm still in New York. I'm teaching at Columbia University, and the course is called Just Capital and Cause-Driven Marketing. And so I start very early in the mornings and have to get up really early so I can do my yoga, my meditation, this podcast, and then take the train all the way uptown to Columbia University. Today, I would share with you something again for discussion. In the book, You Are the Universe, Discovering Your Cosmic Self.com is the site to go to. The book is called, once again, You Are the Universe, Discovering Your Cosmic Self. And the site is also discoveringyourcosmicself.com. And why it matters is the whole topic. So, as you know, Aurora Carlson is preparing questions both for authors and for you, and it'll be really good if you can put questions and join the discussion boards in the website discoveringyourcosmicself.com. So let's read a little bit, then we'll go into the topic, what is real. So I'll just read from the beginning, an interesting thing. So there's a photograph of Albert Einstein standing beside the most famous man in the world, which happened to be the great comedian Charlie Chaplin. In 1931, Einstein was touring Los Angeles and had a chance encounter with Charlie Chaplin at Universal Studios that led to an invitation to attend the premiere of Chaplin's movie City Lights. Both were dressed in tuxedos and smiling broadly. It's astonishing to think that Einstein was the second most famous man in the world. He didn't owe his worldwide fame to the fact that everybody understood, that all people understood his theories of relativity. Einstein's theories dwelt in a realm far above everyday life, and that in itself created awe. British philosopher and mathematician Bertrand Russell wasn't trained in physics when Einstein ideas were explained to him. He was astounded, and he burst out, "To think I've spent my life on absolute muck." And Russell went on to write a brilliant explanation for laymen, the ABC of relativity. In some way, relativity had toppled both time and space. The average person could grasp that much. E is equal to mc squared was the most famous equation in history, but what it meant didn't touch everyday life either. People went about their daily existence as if none of Einstein's deep thinking mattered, not in practical terms. But that assumption has turned out to be wrong. Why has it turned to be wrong? Because of Einstein's insights and later the equations of quantum mechanics. We have created technologies that allow us to do everything. Use this technology to communicate, go to the moon, land rovers on Mars, and so many other things. So essentially, Einstein had two theories. The special theory of relativity, which said that the speed of light is constant for all frames of reference. Also, the faster you go, the slower time becomes for somebody who's observing you. The time, their frame of reference, you are aging much slower, although the passage of time appears the same to the traveler. It's very mysterious. Okay, the passage of time appears the same to the traveler, but to an outside measurer, time for the traveler has slowed down. The other great insight was, of course, E is equal to mc squared, which says that mass and energy are equivalent. And then there was the general theory of relativity, which basically said that space-time is causing gravity. The curvature of space-time is causing gravity. Gravity is the distortion of space-time, and because of gravity, everything comes into place, sort of. Gravity organizes chaos into cosmos. So these are major insights, and actually recently people have discovered gravity waves, etc., etc. So is the world as it appears to us real? Obviously not. The Earth appears flat, but we know it's spinning at dizzying speeds and hurtling through space at thousands of miles an hour, while also it's a globe, right? So the Earth appears flat and disc-like to us, but it's not. And the ground you're standing on is not stationary either. Okay, things appear solid and material, but at another level, they are basically energy, and even further down the chain, they are information. So obviously, our senses do not give us the experience of what we would call the real reality. Okay, so what's real? There are two ways to tackle this. One way to say that our senses are real, give us the real experience of real reality. Okay, so when you're looking at the world, this is how it appears, this is how it must be. And this is a very difficult thing to explain for scientists, because no one can actually explain how basically information coming through the five senses in the form of vibrations going through the senses into the brain results in a three-dimensional experience of reality, or even interpretation of that, even thought. Nobody can explain how we have a thought as a result of an action potential to the brain. This is called the hard problem of consciousness. So can we trust our senses to give us a clue of what is real? And if what we perceive is not real, then what indeed is real? Okay, our senses tell us that the Earth is flat, not real. Our senses tell us that the Earth is stationary, not real. Our senses tell us that the Earth is the center of the universe. We are there, and the sun is going around us, not real. So, and by the way, that has practical implications when we navigate through space, etc. Our senses tell us that the world is solid, that things are solid, and we know that they are proportionately as void as intergalactic space. That everything that I call real, including this book, okay, this, see, solid, it's made up of atoms. The atoms are particles. The particles are moving at lightning speeds around huge empty spaces, and the particles themselves are waves of possibility until measured. So, big problem. We don't know that we can trust our senses. Okay, so that's one way of looking at it. One way of looking at it. We cannot trust our senses, but how do the senses actually create the experience is another problem. That's called the hard problem. So there's another way of looking at it, and don't mind this, but this says that our current models of reality are wrong. Florence Church is asking, do you believe this is all a dream? Yes, that's what I'm coming to. Okay, so let's say you go to see a movie, okay, an old-fashioned movie, and the movie is, there's a reel in the projection room that is projecting the movie. And actually, if you see old-fashioned movies, the reel was moving quite slowly. And since the reel was moving quite slowly, the old movies were a little jerky. That's why I mentioned Charlie Chaplin when I introduced this topic. They were jerky because the frames were not moving fast enough. But if you move the frames fast enough, 28 frames per second, you actually see a movie. Okay? The same is true of the information that's coming to you right now. You see me, you see an image of me, but actually what's being broadcast are digital codes. Okay, they're plus minus codes, and every little bit carries an information. Every little bit carries some information. So as that moves fast enough, that the on-off signals move fast enough, then you see an image and you experience continuity. But there is no continuity, even from a modern standpoint, to any experience. There's no continuity. What you're seeing, you're hearing, what you're looking at, what is impinging on your photons or even coming through space, cyberspace, is a digital code of electromagnetic energy. It comes in bits. Okay, so it means it's on, off, but you see continuity. And that is because even if we believe that our senses are delivering the information, which may or may not be true, then we cannot explain how that digital code of electromagnetic energy of photons actually creates the experience of continuity on a three-dimensional world in space-time. Problem, isn't it? So let's reverse the whole way of thinking. And let's go back to the original teachings of great sages and rishis who said, actually, the world of experience is not really real. The world of experience is not really real because experience is over as soon as it occurs. Every experience. The experience of sound is intermittent. The experience of taste, smell, texture is because of intermittence. If I put my hand on your thigh and I don't move it, after a while you won't know it's there. But if I start to move it again, you'll say, what the heck are you trying to do? So it is the intermittency of experience that actually gives us continuity, because we cannot process information at the speed at which it's delivered. But here's another thing which goes deeper. It says, actually, all these things that we call energy, photons, electrons, protons, stars, galaxies, the physical world, they are nothing other than intermittent experiences that are over as soon as they are born. Just like when you're seeing a movie, the scene that you're watching right now, the frame that you're watching right now, is over as soon as you see it, right? It's over. So every experience is over as soon as it's born, because experience is being projected by consciousness, just like the movie. And that experience includes the experience of your body. Why do you say that? Because the body is an intermittent stream of perceptions, right? That experience includes that which you call your mind. Why? Because the body and the mind are both intermittent streams, one of sensations, the other of thoughts and emotions. No thought lasts for even a second, because it's immediately replaced by another thought. No feeling. Of course, if you keep having the same thoughts, there's the experience of continuity. Just like if you look at the same scene, like if you look at this, there's the experience of continuity. But even that experience, and the experience of sound, is intermittent. And you're projecting it. Consciousness is projecting the mind as intermittent thoughts and emotions. It's projecting the body as intermittent sensations, and projecting the physical universe as intermittent sensations, images, feelings, thoughts. So these intermittent qualities of consciousness, which it is projecting, are called qualia. Qualia are qualities of consciousness. And they're all in the form of sensations, images, feelings, thoughts, which we then interpret as mind, as body, as the universe. Now, if you just get this, then you will realize that everything that you're experiencing, the world, the body, your own body, the body of other people, and your own mind, these are all intermittent projections of your own self. That's why we say you are the universe. Now, the projections are in time, so they're projections. They're not real. The world appears very real, but it's not real. The body appears very real, but it's not real. The mind appears very real, but it's not real. Laura Lee says she got it. So how many are getting it right now? How many are getting it? Say yes, please, if you're getting, and no if you're not, because then I will come back and explain it even more, which I will anyway. Okay, so what is real is not the experience you're having, the experience of your mind or your body or the world. The experience is intermittent in time. Thanks, Joanne. You got it. Joanne Cooper got it. Thanks. Parvatha Vardhini got it. Eric got it. Laneta got it. Thank you. Bakhtiar got it. Okay, so I think we're kind of getting there slowly. Okay, so nothing that we call body, mind, or universe is the real reality. What is real? What is real is you. You as consciousness are real. You as consciousness are real because you are doing the projection. You're creating the experience of the mind, the body, and the universe. And the you that is creating this cannot be found in space or time because it is not in space or time. The real you is formless being, and this formless being is constantly experiencing itself as form and phenomena. As form and phenomena. So hold on to yourself because it's the only thing that's real. If you hold on to experience, you won't be holding on to anything that is real because experience is over as soon as it happens. Okay? And that includes the experience of an entire lifetime. What is it an entire lifetime in cosmic time? You know, it's the blink of an eye. It's like a little thought. So I'm going to find somewhere here in the writings of Tagore something that will explain this very, very clearly. And he says the reason we can't find the real truth is we identify with ego, which is also a constant stream of sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts, and that's how we create our reality, and also how we create the finite self. Let me find this poem because it'll help us understand something that that we need to understand, okay? Let me try and find out. Let's see if I have it here. Okay. Otherwise, I'll just read any old poem because it gives us the experience anyway. Tagore is such an amazing poet. He says, "On many an idle day have I grieved over lost time, but it is never lost, my Lord. You have taken, but it is never lost, my Lord. You have taken every moment of my life in your own hands. Hidden in the heart of things, you are nourishing seeds into sprouts, buds into blossoms, and ripening flowers into fruitfulness. I was tired and sleeping on my idle bed and imagined all work had ceased. In the morning, I woke up and found my garden full of wonders of flowers. So I hope you get that, right? That the universe is constantly recycling, evolving, and basically experiencing itself as you, me, and every other sentient being and its own projection. And this is the way for us to understand that we have to be grounded in that which is not in time, that which is projecting, and then we are free to enjoy the experience but not be bound by it. To be bound by experience is called karmic imprisonment. So we don't have to be bound by experience in order to enjoy the experience. Here's a beautiful poem, another one. The same stream of life that runs through my veins night and day runs through the world and dances in rhythmic measures. It is the same life that shoots in joy through the dust of the earth into numberless blades of grass and breaks into tumultuous waves of leaves and flowers. It is the same life that is rocked in the ocean cradle of birth and death, in ebb and in flow. I feel my limbs are made glorious by the touch of this world of life, and my pride is from the life throb of ages dancing in my blood this moment. Right? So identify with life itself, and you are free. Identify with that which is timeless, eternal. Okay? And then you will be free. Identify with your innermost being that is projecting this entire universe. That's why we say, you are the universe. Okay? So here is another prayer from Tagore, and then I'll end for today. Okay? He says, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by you into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom. Let us all wake up. Into that heaven of freedom, let us all wake up. So Tori Shepherd says, are your talks with marketing departments bookable somewhere? Need more information? No, they are not. Oh, my talks, my public talks. Yeah, I go to deepakchopra.com and my public talks are bookable. Or actually just send an email to info@Deepak Chopra and we'll be able to get you the location. I couldn't find the poem I was looking for. Isn't that sad? I mean, I was looking for that poem which actually... okay, I'll read one more. If the day's done, if birds sing no more, if the wind has flagged tired, then draw the veil of darkness thick upon me, even as you have wrapped the earth with the coverlet of sleep and tenderly closed the petals of the drooping lotus at dusk. From the traveler whose sack of provisions is empty before the voyage is ended, whose garment is torn and dust-laden, whose strength is exhausted, remove shame and poverty, and renew his life like a flower under the cover of your kindly night. In the night of weariness, let me give myself up to sleep without struggle, resting my trust upon you. Let me not force my flagging spirit into a poor preparation for you. It is you who have drawn the veil of night upon the tired eyes of the day to renew its sight in a fresher gladness of awakening. So it's all about awakening. What do we awaken to? We awaken to the presence of our innermost being that is projecting the movie that we call mind, body, and universe. Okay, so thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow, and hopefully we will continue this conversation on You Are the Universe, discovering your cosmic self and why it matters. Join the discussion at discoveringyourcosmicself.com. Thank you.